Sometimes the modern divorce support group gives us themes, very unhappy themes, and this question is similar to one that I answered earlier. This question says, my son is 6 and he bit dad and stepmom's newborn, so stepmom did this to my son. I understand what he did was wrong, but for a grown woman with grown teeth to bite a 6-year-old is absurd. What can I do? The comments to this post are sort of shocking to me. I'm a little bit shocked personally by how many people kind of support this, but that's not the point. What can be done is the question. My name's Billy Tarasio, Arizona family law attorney. My first thought is, Mom, you're a mandatory reporter. That means the law in Arizona requires you to report any reasonable likelihood, any reasonable suspicion that your child may have been abused. I'll tell you right now, a bruise like that, leaving a mark like that from any type of discipline is not legal. So you want to consider that piece. Number 2, you may want to consider getting an order of protection. An act of domestic violence was committed on your child by their stepmother. Now that would have major consequences. The stepmother would not be allowed to go to her own house. That address would be a protected address because your child lives there. So she and her newborn might have to leave, or your child would simply not go to dad's house anymore. The third option is a family court option. You could file to modify dad's parenting time or have a provision in the parenting plan where stepmom could not be alone with your son. So a lot to think about. All of these things have massive consequences, and I would suggest you talk through it if you can with a lawyer who can help you problem solve, because the other thing you could do is come up with a solution with dad outside of court that would be binding. So I would be asking a lot more questions about the totality of the dynamic. Like, I'm not making excuses for stepmom, but was this a horrible mistake that she acknowledges and she wishes she could take it back and she's normally a nurturing, loving stepmom? Or is this a stepmom who has always kind of had problems with your son and the animosity's just grown since she's had her own? Like, these are the questions I'd want to answer when we are kind of problem solving whatever choices you, mom, want to make for what to do to handle this.